Hello everyone. Our Founders Day greetings to all of you. Our organization rests upon the solid foundation built by our visionary founder, late Sri K.P. Paul. Hence, his guiding light shines constantly upon us. Yet, we celebrate this particular day to reiterate our commitment to safeguard the rich legacy that he left behind. Many of you in the younger generation may not have seen him or known him closely. Therefore, today, I wish to take you quickly through the journey that we have been through in the last 8 decades. My father belonged to a large family, and the onus of taking care of them fell upon his shoulders at a very young age. Hence, he quit school after the 7th standard and took up an accounting job in a provision store at Trichy at the age of 12 and a half. A quick learner, he soon learned all the nuances of the business in no time. Confident upon his ability to run the business, the shop owner used to entrust the shop to him for a prolonged period of time. This prompted him to think, why not start something of his own rather than running someone else's business. He was very particular that his venture should provide value addition to the society, and it should be an ethical one too. Thus, after several considerations like the egg and tea businesses, he fixed upon the laundry business. In 1939, at the age of 25, he started his first venture called Popular Washing Home with a capital of rupees 150 given by his parents. His mother herself was an entrepreneur, running a rice business from her home, which also influenced Sri K.P. Paul. The laundry business in those days did not have a social standing. Though many people frowned at his choice, he stood steadfast. He brought in so much of uniqueness in his business that soon people began recognizing it as a brand. Punctuality was its hallmark, so much so that you could connect your watch on the visit of the laundryman. Clothes were taken against full guarantee for its safety. The cycles on which these clothes were transported had a distinct brand identity to them. Within 6 months, he reaped as much profit as he had invested. This success was the launch pad for him to soar to greater heights. Automobiles were always a passion for Sri K.P. Paul. Staying near the Patalam scrap market in Trichy, the sight of automobiles and parts always fascinated him. So, entrusting the running of the washing home to his brother, he moved to his next venture called Popular Industrials in 1940. It was a tire and battery repair shop, his first foray into the automotive sector. Since battery trade did not offer much scope, he focused more on tires. It was the time of the Second World War, and the tires were in scarcity. Though passenger vehicles were not as prevalent as it is today, commercial vehicles were in plenty. Hence, the tire business boomed in no time. The shrewd businessman in him quickly sensed that those coming for the tire repair lost valuable time during the process. This prompted him to explore the possibility of stocking second-hand tires. This idea clicked and the business soared. Soon, those coming for tires started asking for spare parts too. With the World War coming to a close, surplus military disposal spare parts were auctioned in far-off places like Shillong. Sri K.P. Paul knew the immense potential it held. So first he sent a team to explore it. After hearing from them, later on he went too. His unfamiliarity in their language or lack of travel experience outside his home state did not discourage him, and he was armed with sheer passion to explore. In 1944, he established what went on to be an iconic institution later on, Popular Automobiles at Trichy. To deal in automobile spare parts, to support this business, he started purchase offices at Bangalore and Kolkata. For a young man of 30 with little school education, nothing seemed an obstacle, and his aggressiveness and steadfastness in business alone were enough for him to scale new heights. We gradually moved on to imported and new car spare parts as well. Popular Automobiles was a phenomenon. People from the entire South India used to flock to the counters for spare parts, even from as far as the Orissa border. The USP was any spare for any vehicle at any time, all under one roof. We also had Maharajas and Bombay film stars with us. When the road transport via Shillong was blocked due to India's partition, he ensured supplies by chartering aircraft to lift vehicles and spares to Calcutta and from there to Trichy by train. The branches of Popular Automobiles soon spread all over Kerala and even the neighboring states, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Purchase offices were set up in Mumbai, Delhi and Chennai. A novel concept he introduced as a business strategy was to take back any unused sold item and refund the entire bill amount including tax, if it was returned within a reasonable period due to reasons like the customer not requiring it or finding the same item elsewhere at a cheaper price. There was no compulsion to buy an alternate spare. This message was printed on the bill itself, a concept unheard of in those days. This led to customers reposing immense faith in his business. Spare parts business in those days was closely aligned with the engine rebuilding business. Sri K.P. Paul realized that such a facility at his disposal would give him a better positioning in the spare parts trade. And so, in the 60s, he started Popular Garage for engine rebuilding. By the 70s, my brother and I completed our engineering and joined the business. After giving us an initial orientation, he showed the courage to entrust the reins of the business with us, and he took on a mentorship role. At the same time, he kept a close watch, partaking in all strategic decisions. In the early 80s, as the Indian economy started to open up, Maruti arrived in collaboration with Suzuki, offering compact cars with better technology at affordable prices. They invited applications for dealership, though he was reluctant initially to set foot into dealerships, thinking that our autonomy would be curtailed by the principal. Soon he realized the possible disruptions in the spare parts trade, so he gave the final go-ahead, and thus we applied for the dealership. The immense goodwill we had in the market through Popular Automobiles made our efforts easier, and we won the first dealership for Maruti in Kerala. It commenced operations at Trivandrum in 1984. It was a strategic move in our business journey, which later on proved to be immensely fruitful. And that's our core business today. Even in this new business, of which we had little expertise, we pursued our own unique way of establishing it. Since we had a few imported cars at our disposal, we recruited our first batch of engineers even before we received the LOI from Maruti and trained them on these vehicles. This enabled them to rapidly understand the technology of the Maruti cars, which were similar. Training remained our forte, and soon Popular vehicles became synonymous with Maruti in Kerala. This success prompted us to foray into other dealerships as well, including commercial vehicles, and today we have one among the largest dealership networks in the country, being associated with reputed brands like JLR, Tata Motors, Bharat-Benz and Honda. It was always the far-sighted vision and courage of our founder that led our business to continuing success. Till his last, at the age of 93, he kept a close watch on the business and led a disciplined life without any pomp or show. He was an entrepreneur par excellence. He not only provided livelihood to thousands he employed, but also rendered thousands of others to self-sustain by encouraging their own ventures, even in far-off countries such as the Middle East and Africa. He believed that if you give to the world the best you have, the best will come back to you. His journey in life and in business is in itself a great learning, maybe more than many management institutions can probably teach. For the past 82 years, Kuttukaran has lived by it, and it will continue to do so even beyond us. His principles will hold us in good stead, not only as a member of Team Kuttukaran, but in our general career as well. For those of you interested to learn more about our founder, we have his biography titled Athikayan. The print version is available for purchase at the head office. You may also listen to the podcast version of the book at the sites displayed below. We also have a more crisp version of his business philosophy and ideas in the book titled KP Polunde Vijaya Mandrangal, or KP Paul's Success Mantras. This book is also available at the head office. So, before I conclude, I urge each one of you to imbibe the rich business legacy we have and to live up to it by offering our services with passion and dedication. On this Founders Day, let us resolve to take Kuttukaran to even greater heights so that the legacy continues unabated even beyond us. Thank you.